mikvos, the seventh parak.
Can we have one down here?
That have-
They have that?
Here, I'll take one.
Okay.
The four Mishnayot that spell out the Otiyot Mishama. I did a little bit of research to see if there was any deeper meaning to it. Many of the Rabbanim that I asked, nobody could give me any answers, but in mysticism, there's a lot of midrashim that speak about the raising of the neshama because of the mikvos and everything that goes with it. That being said, we'll just learn the Mishnayos, and then I'll do a siyum on Masechet Bava Kama, and I'll give you a slight introduction to that as well. A little bit. Okay. Mikvos Perek Zayin Mishnah Dalid. The first Mishnah Nafal B'tochol Yain of Ahud B'shuni Ktat Marav. If a mikvah that is exactly 40 sa, and the second page you have, I gave you all what all the measurements are in liters, so you can give them an approximation of how things relate to one another. If you had an exact mikvah and fell into it either wine or another diluted syrup, and it changed its appearance. Im ein bo mare mayim arbaim, say if within the entire mikvah there are not 40 sa of clear water, the mikvah is not kosher and you can't, and if you did tobel, it is not considered tevila. Second Mishnah, Shin, Shlosha lugim mayim. Somebody had 3 lugim of mayim. I need them.
Not following here.
Yeah, I need them. Sorry.
It's okay, it's okay.
Wait a minute, I just need
I
this.
can
Just
We
a
know it by
second.
heart.
Yeah.
I just need this. Okay, somebody had 3 lugim of water. All right, a lug is approximately a third of a liter. Okay?
Not very much.
No, it's not a little, but you have 3, that's almost a liter of water. Okay? V'nofa b'tocho karkuv yayin. A karkuv is 1/84th of that measurement. In other words, a very small amount. Okay? V'nofa b'tocho yayin. Karkuv yayin, and wine, that 1/84th of wine fell into the 3 lugim of water. Harei marei kimara yayin, and it all becomes the appearance of the wine. Then naflu b'mikvah, and now this 3 lugim plus 1/84th fell into a mikvah. Lo pasul, it doesn't passel it. The reason being, first of all, what passes a mikvah? 3 liters of mayim she'ubim is enough is what passes a mikvah. Here we have the 3 liters, the 3 lugim. However, the addition to that drop of wine gave it the appearance of wine. Wine is not pasel mikvah. Any mei peod is not pasul mikvah, and therefore the mikvah is not pasul. However, now go Mishnah continue. Shlosh lugim mayim choser karkuv. Now I had 3 liters minus this 1/84. V'nofal b'tocho karkuv chalav, not wine, but milk fell into it. Harei kimarei mayim, and the appearance of this whole now is only 3 liters. 3 lugim completely. The appearance of it is water. V'noflu l'mikveh, and it fell into the water. Lo paslu. Okay, we say it doesn't passel it. Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri Omer Hakol Olech Acharei Mikvah. Rabbi Yehuda says it goes after because of its appearance of being water. It doesn't passel. Rabbi Yehuda ben Nuri says Hakol Olech Acharei Amar, and it doesn't make any difference what it was. If it looked like water, it's good. Really, the first part of the mission really is saying that it is possible because Rabbi Yehuda holds that it's ki'ilu mayim she'uvim because it's not enough. But the halacha is not like Rabbi Yehuda ben Nuri. He says kol olech acharei mayim. He says if all of it still has the appearance of water, it is not. It would be possible. Yochanan ben Nuri said it would be possible because now it all looks like water and it's mayim she'uvim. It would be possible. According to Rabbi Yehuda, it's not because it's still missing that piece and it's fine. Next Mishnah, the Mem of the Shama. Mikvah sheyesh bo 40 sa mechuvanav. A mikvah that's exactly 40 sa. Yodu shnayim b'toblu zeh achar zeh. Two people went in and were told about one after the other.
Well, how much is
A sa is 7.1 liters. In other words, 4 times 7, 280 liters. No, 280 liters approximately is a mikvah. Okay? Two people went in, one after the other. The first one is tahor, and the second one is tameh because the water that came out on the body of the first one became less than the amount of the mikvah. Mikvah less than 40 sa is possible. However, Rabbi Yehuda says, if the first person was still standing so his foot was still touching the water, the second one is also Rabbi Yehuda holds that the continuation of the water follows through from the body into the mikvah and doesn't pass on and it is not considered mayim she'uvim either. Okay, Hamad boet sagis. If somebody had a very heavy woolen garment and he was put it into the mikvah, they had and they took it out. Miktzasa nogeh b'mayim, and the end of it still touching the water. Tahor. Then everything is still, the person going into the mikveh is still tahor because the water, just like we have with the person standing on that, the water in the beged is still in the water, and this all goes according to Rabbi Yehuda, which says good achit, and it's continuation of the water, and the water from this that was absorbed into this wool is still considered part of the mikveh. Hakar v'akesher. Now we're talking about a pillow or a piece of leather which does not absorb the water. Okay? Kivan shem yigbias flotem minamayim. As soon as you take it out of the water, okay, you pick it up from its end, folding it, taking it out of the water. Hamayim shebtochim shuv, the water that's inside of it is now considered instead separated from the mikvah. It's called mayim she'uvim, and that would pass the mikvah. It's Ketzad Yaseh, in order to correct it, to get away from this problem. When you put it in, instead of taking it up this way, take it out this way so that the water doesn't come up with it. The last mishmah, if somebody put a bed that became tamei into a mikvah, and the mikvah is obviously not deep enough to hold the whole bed. Okay? Even though the legs of the bed dig into the mud of the bottom of the mikvah, we're talking about mud that is thick enough that it wouldn't become dicey anyway, but it actually makes a hole. Tahara, the mikveh is still, the bed is still considered Tahara. Why? Because when you put the bed leg through that sand, through that mud, the water went in first. So we said that the mikveh is considered part of the hole that it dug out, and the whole bed is Tahara. Mikveh. Shememav Muhudim, a mikveh that is shallow. Kovesh, afil b'chevlei eitzim, afil b'chevlei konim. Mikveh that is shallow, you can take and dam it up on one side, so that the water will, we're talking about a mikveh that's coming from a stream, so that it'll back up, and the water will be deep enough to do it. Why would I think you can't do it? And so that even with reeds you can do it. First of all, we said that since the water still passes through the kanim, it doesn't pass on the mikveh. That's first of all. But why would I think that chevlei kanim I can't do it? Because I would have to put some kind of a weight. They'll float on top. If I don't put weight, stone weights on the reeds to hold them down. Now the stone reeds would normally pass the mikveh. But in this case, because the stone is only a weight on top of it, and underneath it the water still passes through the reeds, it is kosher. Machat, now the last case we have the machat, a needle, that was sitting on the steps of the mikveh. You create a wave from the water to go over it. Or as soon as the water came from the mikveh onto the step and came back out, it is still Tahara. The reason we say that because when something as small as a needle, if I had to put it completely in the mikveh, I would lose it completely, and there's no way of getting away from that. That's the Mishnah. Now, Masechet Bava Kama, I'm going to do one second. Give this to Henry. At the end. The Masechet Bava Kama is really a third of the Masechet. Really, Nezikim was divided with all one, with 30 parakim. It deals with damages that we cause. Some are damages either by my property does damage to you. I threw a ball through your window and I damaged how I pay, what I have to do, or my animal or my car hit your car. What damages do I have to pay? The second deals with second one deals with okay. No, floating around here on one of the pages. Somebody has it. That's okay. The second one. Okay, the second one deals with property damages. My property, not I did damage, but my property did damage, and money. I created a financial loss by giving you a shortage of money, but the money wore out. I gave you a gold bar, but part of it is missing because it was used so many times it wore out. That's what the second part is. That we learned in Bava Metzia. The first one and the last one deals with land and notes and shtarot. That's Bava Batra. So it was divided into the three Masechot. Bava Kama starts with the personal damages and continues straight through, right to the very end. The last Mishnah in Bava Kama deals with what a craftsman is allowed to take home from the byproducts of his work. Example, a carpenter chiseling wood, is he allowed to take the sawdust? A stonemason who's chipping away at stone, who does the chips belong to? Okay, the Mishnah is very definitive as to who gets what. The end of the Mishnah says, Im haya, the last Mishnah deals with exactly who gets what in that. The very last part of the Mishnah is, Im haya if the carpenter who was working, who would normally be allowed to take the shavings home, but if he was doing it in the house of the Balabai, then all of it belongs to the Balabai, no matter what. There it was dealing only with carpentry. I'll tell you why in a minute, because the Bryces we're going to learn deals with things that are not carpentry. Okay, but that's the rule on carpenters. Tonu Rabbanon, we learn in the Bryce. Mishatete avonim ein behem mishum gezel. If the sculptors who work with stone, chipping with stone, if there is no such thing as gezel with them, the chips automatically belong to the worker. Okay? Misagge ilonos, misagge gefonim, and the people who trim trees or trim grapevines, menatve hege, ones who cut down the thorn bushes, mechashe zurayim, people who weed grain fields, in other words, to take the bad growth out of a field of growing wheat, or be'adve yirokos, and somebody who weeds a vegetable garden. These five, okay, have a particular thing. Bisman shebalabayit machpid aleim, yesh rem shum gezel. These five categories, if the owner is particular about keeping the branches that were cut off from the trees and so on, why would he do that? Because he wants to burn them for himself. It's used for firewood. Okay, then it is, we consider if the worker takes it home, it's gezel. However, if he's not particular, then it automatically belongs to the person doing the work. Amar Rabbi Yehuda, Yisot v'chaziz, ein ben mishum gezel, hops and green grapes. Those are plants that are still growing from the wheat and so on, that didn't grow up yet. In other words, it's after the harvest, but the new sprouts, it rained at the end of the season, and new sprouts started coming up. There is no problem with gezel with that. However, if the owner is particular about it, because he wants it for himself, why would he want it for himself? Because it's used for open pastures to feed the animals the cattle that he's growing. Okay? Yesh b'mim gezel. Amar Ravina says, this particular city, the very end of the Masechet, this particular city, the owners were always makbid that they wanted it to be there. Interesting. Why? Rashi explains, and Rashi has a very interesting insight to it. In Rashi it says, not only did they want the pasture, but they wanted it to be good pasture. Okay? Rashi adds the word good. Question was asked, why did Rashi, who was so meticulously not to spend any extra words, has to come out to say that we needed good pasture in this particular city? And the reason being is that the Gemara, as a rule, always looks to end the Masechet on a good note. Our Masechet didn't add it in its writing because our Masechet isn't over here. Our Masechet is over the end of Bava Lachma. There it does say good things. Okay? But Rashi added it here, so we should all know that we have to do good things all the time. Sheyeh nishmato aliyah.
Yeah.